Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjanam Shalakaya Chukshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanu Purnam Radha Dasyam Pradayakam Nirupānugacarya Varyam Urupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Karunyam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Tuise Namaha Shama Sundara Shrikanda Shekhara Ismera Hasar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatyai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramu Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhatama Shri Guru Pada Padma Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva, and to my most worshipable Shiksha and Sannyasa Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupanova Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue now with the verse 31. Sri Gopya Uchu Mevam Vibhorati Bhavam Gatitum Rishamsam Santyaja Sarva Vishayam Stavapadamulam Bhaktabhajaswa Duravagraha Matya Jasmam Devo Yathadi Purusho Bhajate Mumukshum. So the gopis said, O omnipotent one, O dearest beloved, you are all pervading. You know our hearts. It is not proper for you to speak such cruel words to us. We are your loving maidservants, and we have given up all our material attachments so that we can devote ourselves to your lotus feet. And we have no control over you because you are independent and also obstinate. Still, you should reciprocate with us, just as the Bhagavan Narayana mercifully fulfilled the desires of those who want liberation from this world. So please don't reject us. So now in this verse, the gopis, they finally take some action and they complain to Krishna about his very cruel words. So now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. Now the gopis are speaking, and there is one point here to be considered. All the gopis, they have a very similar mood, and they might all speak the same thing at the same time. But if that would happen, it would create some type of disturbance for the rasa. So we should accept that the four main group leaders, they have spoken simultaneously this verse. In this chapter, there are four very important statements given by the gopis. The first one is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:29-33, which the gopi says, O Supreme Person, be merciful to us. Then in the verse 10:29-35, the gopis say, you should put the nectar from your lips on the blazing fire of our hearts. Then we have the verse 10:29-38, which says, "O Krishna, you should kindly gratify us." And then the verse 10, 29, 41, in which they say, "Please place your lotus hands on our breasts." So each of these four requests was spoken by different Yukteswaris, by the group leaders. So the leader, each of the four groups, spoke according to their own moods to Krishna. They always speak at the same time, expressing their different feelings. So the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 10:13:8 describes the picnic of Krishna with his friends on the bank of Jamuna. So although Krishna was sitting with all his friends in circles around him, at the same time, it was just like everyone was in front of Krishna. So in this way, the gopis were also around Krishna, in front of Krishna, but it was just like the four leaders were directly in front of him. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pada, he is glorifying the gopis by saying, the Brahma Devis, they are the topmost of all heroines. And by their mercy, one can understand all the very deep truths behind the words that they are speaking to Krishna. So he says that he bows down to all the gopis and offer pranam to Gopijana Pranavallabha Shri Krishna, who is the lover and the very life of the gopis. And the gopis, they also say that we will decide later on if we have to renounce our parents, husbands, and family members to serve you, if this is considered or not religious or irreligious. But if you reject us, you certainly be at fault, and there will be no way for you to rectify yourself. So in this way, the gopis are trying to convey this message to Krishna. So they say, it is improper for you to speak such cruel words to us. The gopis, they were feeling extreme anguish. So you have ordered us to go back, but it is not proper for you to say anything like this to us. So why the gopis are saying like this? Because Krishna's words are like brutal, and they pierce the gopis' hearts like a thunderbolt. Krishna's words are like that personified for the gopis. So the gopis say, you should never speak such words. What to speak if you act according to them? It's not proper to speak such cruel words that can torment our hearts. And you are actually our Pranavallabha, the Lord of our lives. You know very well that our hearts are very soft. Our hearts are melting with prema for you, and therefore it is not right for you to speak such harsh words. In the previous verse, the gopis, they remained silent because their voices were like a little bit faltering. But now they are openly expressing themselves, showing Krishna their indignation. So in the verse 18 of this chapter, Krishna says, Swagatam vo Mahabhaga, O greatly fortunate gopis, welcome. How was your journey here by coming here? And what can I do for you? Krishna is asking. So the gopis, they thought to themselves that, did he speak these words so respectfully in a very gentle voice so that later he will order us to go back? This is against the rules of Rasa. So why he is speaking like this? So although the gopis understood that Krishna's intention was actually the opposite of his words, still they have to act according to his words. So the gopis, they thought that Krishna, he may say that, what can I do for you? Then they replied, no, you should worship us. You should worship us, fulfill our heart's desires, and also serve us. Because we have given up everything to become the maidservants of your lotus feet. So this was the humble statement of the gopis. In this way, the gopis, they have replied to Krishna's question, what can I do to please you? So then Shri Krishna, he might answer saying, O gopis, I will certainly serve you, but your service is to look after your husband's welfare. You should not serve your own personal desires. Then the gopis, they say, we have completely rejected our husbands and all the objects of sense gratification, and therefore we came to you. The gopis, they rejected everything and they will never accept it back. Then someone may think that Krishna, he frightened the gopis by saying that the night is very frightful. So this way is not proper to put your family members in distress. So these were the two reasons Krishna gave to make them return to Braja. That they should serve the husbands and because the night is very frightful. But because the gopis, they have already renounced all attachments, this word frightful or fearsome does not give any effect to them. They never feel fear about anything. So Krishna was trying to check the love the gopis had for their own bodies. But the gopis, they already gave up completely all the attachments for sense gratification. So then the gopis say, we have no other attachment except for you. So if you reject us, it will be your fault. Why is that? Because even Krishna, being the Supreme Lord, he should follow dharma. So he should never do anything which will be like detrimental to the love of his devotees. So just like Lord Narayan, he will reciprocate with those who are seeking liberation. In the same way, Krishna also has to reciprocate with those who want to serve him. So Krishna must give priority to their gopis bhajan by saying that you should also reciprocate with us in the same way. The Supreme Lord never rejects anyone. So you also should reciprocate with us in the same way. The gopis, they have attachment for Krishna in the form of a gopa. And they had no respect for jnana and other types of practices. But all types of knowledges, they are actually serving the gopis all the time. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, they are like maid servants of Bhakti Devi. The gopis' speech is full of love due to their extreme miraculous power of bhakti. So the gopis, they realized that Krishna was the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they spoke with him like this. They said, you are omniscient, you are all-pervading, you reside within and also outside of us. You know our heart desires, and we are surrendered to your lotus feet. So please reciprocate with us. Otherwise, what you have said in Bhagavad Gita 4:11, that you will reciprocate accordingly to your devotees, it will become completely false. But then Krishna, he would say, O respected gopis, you are like great philosophers. So why do you desire for material happiness? And the gopis, they reply, we have renounced all types of material enjoyment. We only want the transcendental pleasure of your prema. So therefore, to make true your statement in Bhagavad Gita, you should also renounce everything and enjoy with us. You are free to do whatever you like. You do not depend on anyone, but don't reject us because we are surrendered to you. You are Parameshwara, the Supreme Lord, and the adharma can never touch you. Also, the Shrutis declare that you are Satya Sankalpa, means whatever you speak, it becomes true. And you have promised to fulfill the vows of all your devotees. So if you reject us, it will be like contradicting the words of the Shrutis, and it will be very improper. Those who are incapable of renouncing you, they are called the amumukshum. So please accept us because we are very loyal and surrendered souls. The whole world worships you because you are the complete primeval Lord and the Supreme Bhagavan. So therefore it's not appropriate to speak such harsh words to us. In this way, the Yagyapatnis from Mathura, they also spoke to Krishna some pleading words like this. Their prayers were very similar to the gopis, but actually the heartfelt meanings were different. The gopis, they are very clever and they can speak in such a way that they are actually making the rasa to increase. Sometimes they may speak against Krishna, sometimes they may speak in a humble way. Sometimes they will pray to him, please reciprocate with us. Sometimes they will order him, you have to reciprocate with us. This is the end of the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Darshini. So after hearing Krishna's harsh words, the gopis, they became full of emotions and their voice was filled with anger. Then the gopis say, You are giving us a religious instruction, but at the same time, you are bringing so much sin upon yourself. So by your harsh words, you are like killing us, and this is a sin. Your words are like arrows, which are piercing us, and we are definitely going to die. And after giving up our bodies, we will go to the abode of Jamaraj, and we will not follow your instruction to return to Braja. There are millions of us, and you will be responsible for killing millions of women. It is not proper for you to commit such a sinful act because you are the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is celebrated as a very religious person. So if you don't want to commit such very severe sin, you have to accept us. We have given up all types of sense enjoyment and worship you exclusively. So you also should renounce all your sense enjoyment and reciprocate with us. So here the gopis are saying that the physical contact with Bhagavan can never be considered sense enjoyment. But Krishna, he might say, "Oh, lustful women, you have rejected your husbands and are attracted to me. Have your husbands not satisfied your passion?" Then the gopis, they reply, "Oh, just like a farmer desires rain, if the cloud will give poison instead of water, this is very bad." So the gopis say, we are like the Chataki birds who only drink rainwater. So, but you are like the cloud who is only giving poison. So, in this way, we are very thirsty to drink only the water which comes from your cloud. But due to our misfortune, you are only giving us poison, and we cannot satisfy our thirst. But this is your choice if you want to only give poison and not rainwater. We will not be unhappy. But you must know that if we drink this poison, we will die. In other words, we are not going to drink the water which comes from our husbands. We are only going to drink the water from you. So if you are a little bit having some gratitude, please don't reject us. But Krishna, he might reply saying, it is true that the Chatakis, they depend on clouds, but the clouds do not rely on Chatakis for anything. For the clouds, if the Chataki birds live or die, it does not make any difference. Then the gopis say, yes, this is true because a cloud is made of a dull matter. He cannot differentiate between life and death. But you are not like the inert clouds. You are like Narayana, the best of all clever persons. You should act like Narayana. You should be merciful and should accept us, not reject us. Those who desire liberation, they renounce all kinds of sense enjoyment and only worship Narayana. And Narayana will be mercifully accepting them and fulfilling their heart desires. So why don't you fulfill our heartfelt desire? We have given up all varieties of sense pleasure to serve your lotus feet. So in this way, this is the end of the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vanchakapatarvesha kripa sindhudevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. Hare Krishna, Jai Gurudev.